Two women in California think there's something fishy about the tuna at Subway. They're now suing, saying tuna from the sandwich giant doesn't contain any tuna at all.
There's a quiet horror lurking in plain sight, wrapped in bright yellow and green, promising freshness, offering a safe alternative to greasy fast food. Subway. For years, it has whispered a reassuring lie. Eat fresh. Two simple words that have convinced millions to step through its doors, believing they were making the smarter choice. But what if that promise was nothing more than an illusion? What if, behind the crisp lettuce and warm bread, there was something much darker? Something they never wanted you to know. If you think you are choosing the safe option, the clean option, you need to hear this. It is an idea they have sold for decades, an image of wholesome ingredients, carefully prepared, assembled before your very eyes. But the truth is something far more unsettling. For years, their bread, a staple of every sandwich, contained azodicarbonamide, a chemical used to manufacture yoga mats and shoe soles. And while public outrage eventually forced them to remove it, the damage was already done. The illusion had cracked. And then came another revelation, one that was almost too absurd to believe. According to the Irish Supreme Court, Subway's bread contained so much sugar that it legally could not even be called bread. It was by definition cake. But sugar is only the beginning. The real horror lies within the ingredients they do not want you to think about. The meats, the vegetables, the things that should be simple, natural, untainted, are anything but. A sandwich should be honest. A piece of turkey should be turkey. A slice of chicken should be chicken. But when researchers tested Subway's oven-roasted chicken, the results were disturbing. What was supposed to be pure, simple meat turned out to be something else entirely. Only 53% actual chicken, the rest a slurry of fillers and unidentifiable additives. Subway fought back, even sued the researchers who published the findings, but when independent tests were conducted, the results were just as damning. And then there was the tuna. Customers began to suspect that something was off. A texture that did not quite feel right. A taste that was just slightly wrong. A lawsuit was filed, and when samples of Subway's tuna were tested, scientists found something horrifying. No trace of any identifiable tuna DNA. It had been so thoroughly processed, so chemically altered, that researchers could not even confirm if it had ever been tuna to begin with. Subway insisted it was real. But if that were true, then why did every test tell a different story? Subway has always relied on a simple strategy, manipulating perception. It is not about what their food actually is. It is about what they make you believe it is. The footlong? A great deal, until customers started measuring their sandwiches and realized many were only 11 inches long. That might not sound like much, but when millions of sandwiches are sold every single day, that missing inch adds up to millions of dollars in product that customers paid for, but never received. And the infamous $5 footlong, the deal that made Subway famous, quietly phased out, replaced by creeping price hikes, until one day you walked in expecting $5 and walked out paying nearly double. But the deception does not end with what they take away. It is in what they add. The meats are heavily processed, restructured, blended with fillers and binders to create a uniform texture, a consistency that nature never intended. The vegetables, once symbols of health, are anything but. Lettuce arrives at stores already chopped, pre-packaged, soaked in preservatives to keep it from wilting. Tomatoes are artificially gassed to retain their vibrant red hue. The illusion of freshness is carefully maintained, but the reality a factory-produced product, stored and shipped until it no longer resembles anything found in nature. But the true horror is buried deep within the things you cannot see. Every bite carries traces of sodium nitrate, a preservative linked to increased cancer risk. The bread contains propylene glycol, a chemical also used in antifreeze. Artificial flavoring agents work behind the scenes, tricking your brain into believing you are tasting something real, when, in reality, what you are experiencing is nothing more than a carefully engineered simulation. The human mind is easy to fool. If something looks fresh, smells fresh, and tastes fresh, we accept it as truth. But the body knows better. It reacts, not to the illusion, but to the reality of what it has consumed. Subway built its empire on trust, on the belief that it was different, that it was better, but that trust was misplaced. The bread is chemically altered. The meats are barely what they claim to be. The vegetables are preserved and lifeless. And the tuna, a mystery that no one has been able to solve. This is not health food. It is not fresh. It is not safe. It is fast food, wrapped in a lie. And if you still think Subway is the better option, you might want to ask yourself, how much do you really know about what you are eating? Because Subway already knows exactly what they are serving you. And they are hoping you never question it.